we all know that there's a lot of stuff going on right now, which feels that it's beyond our control. We feel that there are others who are in charge, and we feel overwhelmed at the vastness of all the issues. I think that there is an awakening happening right now, for lack of a better term. And what this entails, I don't exactly know. All I know is that I have had so many more conversations with random people who have very similar thoughts and beliefs as I do, where we are starting to see a little bit more clearly that what we label as scary or uncomfortable or painful things that happen in our lives, emotions that we experience, all of these things are very, very valuable, and these things are what make us human. In addition, these things are vital to the human experience of this life. And what I mean by that is not that we need to always experience horrible things and it's just part of our destiny and we just need to wallow in it. That's not what I mean. What I mean is having this growing understanding and appreciation for these things that we don't like, because there basically are boundaries coming online, and or boundaries, echo walls appearing and saying in front of us, saying, hey, this might not be the best path for you to go down, or this situation, for lack of a better term, sucks. It's uncomfortable. And what we traditionally do, what we typically do, myself included, is we have one of the general fear responses. We freeze, we have flight, we fight, or we fawn or appease, people pleasing. And the issue of all these things is we're just running away from these feelings, or we're trying to suppress the feelings, or we're trying to act like they're not here. Or we're focusing on other people instead of dealing with the root of this issue. And the reason we're doing this is oftentimes overall because this is what society says is normal. It's normal to go and, have a bunch of drinks and get drunk with your friends and forget about the difficult week and, have a good time and replace it with good memories and ingest this poison into our bodies, or sit and veg out and eat a bunch of, sugary junk food or whatever. And it's not to say that having a couple of drinks or, some sugar or whatever is wrong. Don't hear me when that's not what I'm saying. But those things as crutches, as band-aids, are not getting to the root of these feelings. And they are causing us to stay in this mentality of victimhood. I can't do anything about it. It's just my circumstances. Life just sucks. I'm going to go surround myself with people who agree with me and make me feel a little bit better to alleviate that feeling. But in reality, all that's happening right now is screaming at us to say, be open, slow down, be with these feelings, allow these thoughts to go through you, because that's the only way to release that energy that is a purpose, that is valuable. And by little releasing, the allowing, the sitting with this uncomfortable feeling, this not judging these feelings over and over and over and over and over and fucking over again, it allows us then to be empty like a cup. So then the goodness that we're actually looking for, the joy, the peace that we're all desperately craving, can come in. It's already there. We just can't find it because we keep pushing these things down and compacting all this trash and thinking that those feelings are normal. Again, they're valuable, but they're just saying, look at this trash, let it out. Take it out bit by bit, piece by piece. Look at it. See that wounded child that was never allowed to just be angry, or who was never allowed to just express themselves or scream at how lonely they were, or if they were abused, whatever it was. And when we do this, we actively sit in discomfort. We're there for that little wounded child or adult or whatever stages usually, and we were wounded by. And in that silence and that stillness and that slowing down and letting go of control, we're able to see the world as it is, and we're able to start to feel more of that peace. I remember when I was a child and I would be upset by something, and when I would just cry and thrash and scream and let it out, and after all that, I'd be sitting there, sometimes in my mom's lap, just laying there, listening to her heartbeat, and I would feel empty, but empty in a good way. I would feel like I got all the crap out of my system. And then I was able to notice these tiny little beautiful drops of dew sitting on a leaf, sparkling in the sun, and how each of those little drops captured or were conduits of fractals of light and split into multi-different colors. And I was able to hear the frogs, spring peepers we call them, and all of these things became like music, became this soothing, amazing, beautiful world that I just got to experience, but I couldn't see it before I had released all that from my system. And when we think that we don't have control and all these issues are too big for us, all that does is it makes us feel like victims and like everything is out of our control, when in fact, the only thing that we can actually do that would be helpful for not just ourselves but everyone is by taking responsibility for those feelings and allowing them to be, and allowing them to be released, and allowing them to point to who we are as individuals, as authentic, genuine human beings. Those things that are screaming at us and telling us, no, this job that you have is crushing your soul and putting you into a little box that the system says, yes, that's right, you're acceptable, you're a great machine, well done. No, go and be who you are. That doesn't mean go and quit your job, your 9 to 5 right away. You might have to do other things to start to be able to fully express who you are. And it might not be actually a job switch. It might be something else. It might be just going and getting a guitar and picking up the guitar and be like, I've always wanted to play. Cool. How many years have you wanted to play? Go get that thing. Go do that thing. Just start. I don't have enough time. Cool. Start with 5 minutes a day. It doesn't matter. Go start it. Our life is finite. And if we continue living as if we're victims in this world, affected by our circumstances, then that affects every single person in your life, not just yourself. And to me, as I consider myself a recovering fawner or people pleaser, I still instinctively want to do that. I want to make other people happy. I want to take care of other people. I instinctively want to do that. If somebody's mad, to avoid an argument, let me try to help you. And all that was at the expense of who I was and allowing myself to be who I am. And realizing that I am the master of my destiny. And yes, life is going to happen. There are going to be things that we can't control, but we can control our responses to those things. We can control our reactions to those things. That doesn't mean go and shut down every angry or sad or upset reaction. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying allow those things to be and allow them to point deeper into who you are. And when we're doing this and going through this, we're taking responsibility. We are going through challenging situations. We are creating more confidence in ourselves. We are creating more resiliency in ourselves. We're releasing this tension, this trash, little by little, and we are becoming lighter. We are realizing, wow, I am everything that I've ever wanted to be. Who I am is everything. Who I am is the direction that I'm facing before my actions are taken, before I take my first step. And if every single one of us took responsibility for those things we don't like within ourselves, that we're feeling, that we're experiencing, and how we're reacting to them, if everyone did that, then we would start to see real change. So for me, yes, of course, I would like more income. I would like more time, more flexibility. I would like certain things in my life, and I am working towards them. But for me, the most important thing is that when I imagine myself on my deathbed, if I were going to be thinking that I'm going to die tomorrow or next week or soon, whatever it was, what is it that I will have wanted to have done? Who will I have wanted to spend more time with? What will I wanted to have tried? How do I wish I was? How I was acting around other people. Not just acting, but being. Who was I ever who I really wanted to be? Or was I just putting on a facade because society said I needed to have my face full of makeup and a beautiful outfit before I go and record something like this? Because society is saying I need to go do X, Y, and Z that, you know, all girls do, and that means that, you know, you're acceptable and liked because you're doing those things and you look a certain way. No. Not for me, at least. And that's not to say any of that's wrong. But if I were to die tomorrow, I will have wanted to spend more time with people who I love, people who wanted me to be me. So the next time that you're feeling something uncomfortable or scary or whatever that thing may be, notice your feelings, notice your reactions, notice your thoughts. Your thoughts are powerful and we spin in our thoughts. And see if there's something even small that you can do that is different from what you've always done. And see if you can simply notice those things initially. Then see if you can maybe take one small step a little bit different. Take a little more responsibility. Allow a little bit more of that discomfort to just sit with you. Pause, take 5 minutes and think about it. Breathe, slow down your breathing. It is the most effective way for getting in touch with our bodies and switching from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic nervous system, where instead of being in this tense fight or flight acidic environment, we can actually switch to slower exhale breathings where we can change the acidity in our blood and move into the rest and digest, where then we become these empty vessels and we are allowing who we are and what is all of this beautiful energy and power to come in and inspire us with new ideas and patterns and ways of being.